I beg your pardon. It's the other one I want to mention. How is Suffolk County Council supporting its working parents, employees, or employees with caring roles to access the staff car parking on mornings, when by 8:50 on most mornings, unless on Fridays, there are no places to park? Obviously, it's a big thing. If you drop the kids off at school, you can't get here early and grab a park place. Lots of people nodding hands. Come to you in a moment. Can the current access system to the car park change in order to reduce barriers to work for the working parents? Now,
I just extend that question because it's a two-tier thing here. You come in, you can't park, so you end up having to go to somewhere else and park. And I know it's not a right as an MP to have a car parking place. Then you come into work and there's no desks for the same reason that you're that little bit late.
yes. So two issues
So
there.
even before you start to work, you're in a bad mood.
Yeah. Oh, what a horrible way to start the day. You're in a panic, packed lunches and kids and everything. Is there a way of tackling this?
Well, the car parking issue is really interesting because we're specifically talking here about Endeavour House. Actually, there are issues elsewhere in the county when I've been out and about that have been raised. Because we do charge for car parking, albeit there are some special dispensations and some grading. It is something we've had discussions at corporate leadership team about. It's something I'll be looking at still further. I haven't got an answer today. It's a really difficult one. Because you leave, if you left some spaces free, how many is that? We've got more pressure on that particular the car park you're referring to, because we've got Baber and Mid-Suffolk colleagues have joined us and they're able to access that car park along with NHS. So it is a really complicated issue. Car parking is always a poison chalice in my experience. A bit like office accommodation. The hot desking and desking arrangement, that would be a discussion to have with your manager. In my experience, when we walk around the building, there are normally more desks than there are people in, so I'm surprised by that comment, but I don't know the specifics of it, so I would suggest that's a conversation to be had with your manager. The idea of flexible working and hot desking is, but there are times, of course, where it makes sense for all of the team to be in, so maybe it's just on certain days. I don't know, I don't think I can comment on that appropriately, but the idea of trying to get, as assets are expensive for us to run, and the idea of flexible working is to allow people to work flexibly, but also to try and reduce our costs so we can get other organisations in. It brings better joint working together, because you're more likely to bump into colleagues and so on, but also it basically means this building becomes more affordable. But the car parking one I'm looking at, I know there are issues in Riverside and other areas too. It's a really difficult one. If anyone's got any suggestions, by all means do. But I come back to the point, you then start, are you in the realms of, I think discriminating is quite the right word, but discriminating people who don't have children. It's very difficult. We are looking at it, but what do? Do you allow 10 spaces, 100 members as well? We've got councillors in the room. I know that can be a problem when they are trying to park. So it's a complicated area, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend we've got an answer. I'm aware of the issue. But there are lots of car parking around the building as well. One of the issues, I think, is our car park is slightly cheaper than others. So, do we bring equality and everyone pays the same? I don't know.
Difficult one. Hand went up.
Yeah, that's exactly the point I was going to make. If we allow mums who drop their children off to have a car parking space, what kind of message does that send to everybody else, or mums or dads? And I feel like, actually, you've allowed me to come to work at 9:10, so I can take my girls to school. So I feel that actually is quite a good way up for me. I'm happy to pay extra money to park somewhere else. Just, I don't know, it's just that whole flexible thing. I think we have to be as flexible as you guys have to be. So
So thank you, Kate. That's the balance of the argument, isn't it?
I just put my head out because I asked that question.
All right. Yeah.
And I'm working flexible. I use Skype. ACS is an organisation I think we use quite. We promote flexible working, like green people. And my team uses Skype. And I do appreciate the flexibility of dropping Sundays my child to school. Because I made lots of efforts to put breakfast clubs and after school clubs. I work full time and I'm not kind of good position, I would say. However, today coming to this meeting, I couldn't find a space to park in none of the car parks, former road-wise. I'm not talking about, I couldn't find a space to park here. Therefore, is that adding stress, adding mental health issues sometimes, especially with some people. When you stress yourself to try to do as best you can in your role and attend meetings, sometimes I do need to come to meetings, and then try to rush out and you couldn't find a space to park, which means you need to park far away, walk, run, literally run, to get your space, to you get your car and go to the school, pick up the child, go down there, then to bed. And it's just, I know solutions, I don't think I have a social media, Nicola, but we're just raising that does add to people, parents, working parents, and I have my team, colleagues, similar in my situation. They never find a space to park by 9 o'clock in the car park.
What would you suggest then?
And I know that you're going to ask that question.
I've had one answer, I've had 20.
I know.
And I have to say, let's get, if I may, just some parity here. When I've gone to other buildings in other parts, Stowmarket, the Mix, there is no parking.
Yeah.
So staff there take their chance with the public car parking, or they find other ways to do it. So I just bring some perspective. I'm not in any way undermining or trying to run down the point you're making and get it, but I've got to have an eye on the whole organisation. And so there is at Riverside we charge for our staff to park. East Suffolk don't. It's a really difficult one. If you've got some practical suggestions, I'm open-minded about it, but I do have to look across the organisation.
Right, we're